And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I apologize for the extended break. It was around 10 minutes or so, but I apologize as we have returned with our second and final best of 3 of the night. Again, it's a bit of a shorter broadcast. Here for the ESL Masters Winter Americas Regionals, but we only had 2 series left. We only have 2 players to actually determine who makes it into that playoff brackets. We already covered our first series. Eggs, of course, made it out on top over Masa in a close best of 3. And now we have one final best of 3 for this event, for this broadcast. It is going to be Nina versus Kelazhur. The vetoes are done, and the lobbies are being put together. It all comes down to this, and oh god, this is even more brutal than the last one. Like, I'm a big fan of both Nina and Kelazhur. Diego, papi, Diego, big fan, and again, just like the last one, I would love both of them to make it through, but there is enough room for only one player, and it's a little bit heartbreaking, coming into this, you know, we were covering the B stream of ESL Masters, and we were talking about, or I was at least championing and really hyping up Kelazhur because he'd been looking so damn good coming into this. But Kelazhur, he didn't quite get to face a lot of the players that he would have loved to, and he did have some rough results in the end. He didn't quite make it in, and now it's come down to the wire. You know, Kelazhur, he is now knocked down to the final qualifying match here, and it could all be over. Likewise, same with Nina. Nina, she's one of the best Protosses in the Americas region. She's so damn good. And they've been both winning, don't get me wrong. They've been both having some decent showings here, but still not enough to have a secure placement here in the upper echelons of North America. You know, we've got big names like Special, Scarlet, Estrella, Trigger who raided us earlier, and they did cement themselves as the best of the region, and now we're still trying to figure out who joins them in the playoff bracket. One of these 2 players. Uno más, papi. Uno más. Predictions will soon be open. As soon as we get this game going, I will open up those predictions and you can place your bets in the chat. As a reminder as well, it's a best of 3, not a best of 5. Best of 3, so a very short series. One mistake, one misstep, and you're going to be punished. You're going to be punished very hard for it as well. As we do get into this. Brutal, papi, brutal. It is brutal. Just making sure that everyone is ready to go in, and here we go. The beeps are upon us. The prediction is ready. Predictions are now open. They are open in the chat, so place your bets on how you think this series will unfold. As we're loading into game 1 on Golden Aura. We have our map of choice. Oh boy. It all begins and it all ends on Golden Aura. I'm not entirely certain as to the vetoes themselves, as to what was gotten rid of and where we're ending up in game 2 and potentially game 3. Personally, I would love to see an ace match. I would love us to go the distance and go all the way to that final game, but it is not up to me. It's up to our players. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Golden Aura, we have the Brazilian Terran player, currently teamless. It is Kelazhur. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the American Protoss player, the blue Protoss, also currently teamless. It is Nina. Here we go. As I quickly just posted in the chat, up. Predictions open. Predictions are open and we can get this underway, and I'm quite curious to see how we play this out. Again, Nina is a typically very aggressive player in this matchup. We've been lucky enough to cast Nina recently in a lot of these TvPs, and aggression is definitely the forefront here of Nina's playstyle. We saw a lot of that in her series against Dolan, where Nina was in a way hard countering what Dolan was doing. Dolan going for aggressive openers himself, even trying to play mech against Nina. This was a couple of days ago, 2 days ago if I recall correctly. But we were able to cast Nina versus Dolan, and Nina was just shutting Dolan down at almost every turn. And I bring that up because, honestly, Kelazhur, he is willing to be a little bit more exploratory in this matchup. He is willing to embrace mech at times. I don't expect to see it, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do. If we try to incorporate some kind of mass cyclone style For now though, standard openers. It is going to be a double gas opener out of Kelazhur, so a little bit more aggressive. And I know that I've been talking a lot about like Nina's overall playstyle in this matchup. Her control, her blink micro is insane. Likewise, when we've been covering Kelazhur in this matchup, he's also been going for a lot of timing attacks, a lot of 2-base all-ins from Kelazhur. Very few times have we gone into a longer macro game in TvP involving Diego. So I don't expect this to be a long series. I don't expect this to be a long one. It could even go to the ace match, but I expect some shorter games, and we'll see how this does unfold. For now, CC on the low ground. It's going to be a Rax into factory into that expansion. Back at home, Nina going for a gate expand into a cyber core, or gate cyber expand even. Nothing too out of the norm. We haven't chosen our tech yet, and why I bring that up is because against Dolan, Nina was actually going for some robo openers from time to time, which was shocking. It was very shocking to see more consistent robo based openers, but there we go. We have our tech of choice, and it is going to be a Twilight Council. Twilight Council's on the way. So far, the Reaper does not make it into the main base. Does attempt to, but is going to be zoned away. Stalker's in position, and the Reaper is forced back. Meanwhile, back at home, we're just getting into our 1-1-1 setup. Additional Reapers are in production alongside Hellions as well. Interesting. Okay, so a very aggressive opener with this. Kelazhur is looking to dive into the natural. He's looking to avoid the side defense, avoid the Stalkers, and get into a mineral line. So a very aggressive start here from Kelazhur. And so far, he still hasn't seen the main. He still doesn't know what he's up against. Seeing additional Stalkers, though, is a sign of Blink. Definitely a sign. Here we go. Hellions, they try to dip into the natural base. The Stalkers are in position. At the same time, Reapers, they go into the main. They avoid that Stalker. They spot the gateways. The boys are being pulled up. We almost get a surround. Bit of miscontrol out of Nina attacking that gas geyser. It does take down one of the Reapers. At the same time, Hellions, they dive into the natural. Ooh. They do get a couple of those workers. Good positioning here out of Nina. Body blocking those Hellions. And they are going to be shut down. At the same time, Reapers, they come back into the main base. Kelazhur being so active. He gets 6 workers in total. He sees the additional gateways. He's aware of the Twilight Council opener, and we can see that it is going to be a 3-gate opener out of Nina. Should be leading into a 3rd base. But that is 6 probe kills. And Kelazhur isn't done. Nowhere near. We're following it up with a mine drop. With a mine drop heading towards the main base. Likewise, back at home, we're getting into our 2-on-1, soon to be 3-1-1 setup on 2 bases. As to be expected. But can Nina keep up? She does have a couple Stalkers in position. Blink is still not done, by the way. Blink not quite done, but Stalkers, they do zone away Kelazhur for a moment. He does pull back. There's that 3rd Rax. Raven production has commenced. Is able to at least shut down one of those armies or one of those forces, and now we can finally expand. We are finally free to take a 3rd base. Now this is a delayed 3rd from Nina, but at least it is on the way. And the game is going to be settling from here. Kelazhur, he's lost all of his Hellions and Reapers, so he doesn't have anything to distract Nina. This mine drop has a lot of potential, but ideally Kelazhur, he wants to push in from another angle and to grab the attention of Nina whenever he can. And then go in. Here we go, the Marine did reveal itself. Drop comes in and we do shut down the medevac. 1 Widow Mine goes down already. We only have 2 left. Oh! God, that could have been so much worse. 1 probe goes down. A nice dodge on the mine shot, and Nina cleans up the drop, and it doesn't really get too much done. That was 1 probe kill for 3 Widow Mines and a medevac. A much better trade for Nina. That does help make up for the delayed 3rd. And now we can push across the map. We can go for a counterattack. Back at home, what do we have to work with? Kelazhur is still working on his 3-1-1 setup, still building up his tank count, Marines, Marauders. A really solid defensive position here with the SimCity and the tank line. And Kelazhur is not going all in. He does have a 3rd CC on the way. So he's working on that next step. Likewise, so is Nina. Outside of just expanding, we do have additional tech on the way. We have a Forge and a Robotics Bay for +1, and eventually Colossus production. Colossus and Disruptors. So after a pretty intense early game, we're getting into the mid game. The Raven. Big shot's going to be going off here. Nina going to be bleeding out. Nothing, actually. Not a single Stalker went down, and we got the Raven. We'll have to respect the Bio Army. Stim isn't quite done, so Kelazhur cannot chase this down. And Nina is going to respect that, but as Nina backs off, Kelazhur is going for a push. The Observer was sniped earlier. Nina does not see this. She doesn't know until now. Does spot some of those Marines. And we have to slow this down, forcing a Stim. Back at home, charge still isn't quite done. Nina supply blocked, actually. We have the Colossus. We have force fields available. Tanks, though, they're getting in position. And without charge, it's going to be so difficult to actually collapse on this. A couple of Zelts already going to be going down. Good hold position micro. The base taking a lot of hits. Nina getting ready to come in from behind. And there we go. Charge is now done. We can collapse on this army. The first tank is going to go down. Can we get the rest? We get the second tank and the final tank as well. Whew. This position has been broken, but we have still so many Marines. Marines and Marauders, but against a Colossus, it's going to be difficult to really close the gap. We're going for it. Kelazhur, he wants a Colossus, and he will get it. Colossus goes down. A big overextension out of Nina. She may have killed the tanks, but it cost her her first Colossus. And now Kelazhur, he has map control. He has momentum going his way. Gonna try and break his way through. Overcharges on cooldown. But the second Colossus arrives, and Nina will hold. It wasn't the cleanest hold, but a hold nonetheless. As we're even able to shave off a couple of extra units. Has Kelazhur overextended? Can we get a couple of these medevacs? The Marauders! They come in! Up! They get another Colossus, and it wasn't Kelazhur overextending, it was Nina. We try to focus on whatever we can. Reinforcements are trickling on in. Stalkers are going down. Behind this, Kelazhur has a third base. He is ahead economically. Typically, the Protoss player would like to be up a base, but we are even on bases. Mules are kicking in, and Kelazhur, oh boy, he's looking to snowball out of control. Now, he does retreat back home. He's giving Nina some time to breathe, but upon losing that second Colossus, that is brutal. This is a brutal moment here for Nina. She's getting into double robot production. There is a massive window here where Nina is vulnerable. She has one Colossus to her name, and it's going to take a while for these two robots to really kick in and get back into disruptor production. As a result, this window is open, it's available, and Kelazhur is looking to go through it. He's pushing out once again. Protecting this fourth base is going to be a tough ask here for Nina. You can see that Kelazhur, he's now up 40 supply. Fourth CC on location. Nina in a lot of trouble. Here we go. We are pushing on forward. Again, only a single Colossus to hold on. There are so many Marauders available. We go for it. We go for the dive. We do not quite get the Colossus. Zelts are coming in, and Kelazhur did overextend quite a bit there. He committed to kill the Colossus, and this time, he didn't kill it. This time, the Colossus does survive. Now, that was a good fight. That was a very good fight for Nina. We need that to happen again. Need that to happen a second time. As Nina is getting into her double robot production, fourth base is getting up and running. Overcharge is now going to be available here. And Kelazhur, he has to go back and get ready for a second push. We have a mine drop being set up. Main army here on the right hand side. Still a lot of Marauders. And this army from Nina is very bare bones. She does have some forces in position. The mine drop is coming in. And these mine shots, they're gonna go off. Oh my god. Only two workers going down. We have mines into the natural base, into the main. First Nova will zone away the army. So far, we haven't killed too many workers, but up the split. We barely split off. 6 probes in total. And these mines, they're gonna reset. Uh-oh. They are looking to reset. It looks like the mines at the third base are gonna get cleaned up, but there's still a mine here at the natural and a mine in the main. And Kelazhur is still looking for a way into that fourth. Oh, we're gonna get a second shot. Oof. Okay, only one probe. Likewise, here in the main base, we should get a second shot off as well. 2 additional probes. Minimal losses here for Nina. Her economy is still looking quite strong. And now Nina can focus on the main assault. We can as well. As Nina's being lured quite out into the open, and Kelazhur's coming in from behind. The Colossus! No! The Novas are going to connect for 1. 2 Colossi go down, and Kelazhur comes in for the surround. Cleans up the army. A disastrous fight for Nina. No shield battery, no overcharge to support. And now we are down to 1 disruptor. And we have a second disruptor on the way. Can we hold? Up. Oh my god. A juicy connection. A very juicy connection in favor of Nina. Reinforcements are coming in. Zealots as well, but the big EMPs not quite connecting. We drag the army into a minefield. And again, Kelazhur, he can keep this up. He can keep this going. He's just rallying everything across the map. Nina is barely holding on. Once again, 2 more Colossi on the way. If we get another good Nova, then we can potentially defend long enough to get these Colossi out. It's gonna be close though. It is gonna be close. Oh, good EMP. Oh my god, the Nova takes out all the ghosts. Very juicy connection. The second Nova is just gonna zone away the army. And now we can push on forward in towards the 4th base. I believe the Colossus are now on the way. Making their way here to that 4th base location. Nina just needs to buy time. The disruptor! Another disruptor goes down. An expensive loss here for Nina. She does force back the army. Once again, though, I feel like we're overextending a little bit. Never. Oh my god! Does not go off. A clutch snipe there from Kelazhur. We're able to hold on. Behind this, 5th CC is on the way. Kelazhur is about to max out. Again, it's one of those things where Kelazhur, he's just been up in supply. He's been ahead this entire time. And Nina's been barely surviving. But the reality is that Kelazhur, he can keep this going. And Nina, she's being pulled apart. She's been able to defend at this one location over and over again. But now she's being spread thin. And this 4th base is going to fall. The 5th next to season. I don't see a world where Nina can expand anytime soon. I don't know how she can actually take a 5th base. Does want to try to catch the army. And Kelazhur is maxed out. He's up 40 supply. Rotating around. Nina with very limited map vision. The Observer. Observer does go down. And it comes down to this one big fight. Big EMPs here on the Colossus once again. There's a bit of friendly fire going on there as well, but it looks like Kelazhur is still breaking through. He gets on top of 1, gets on top of 2 Colossi. The entire army is going to crumble here, and Kelazhur is going to take game number 1. GG. GG, well played again. Just the hyper-aggressive nature of Kelazhur. He may have been expanding behind it, but he was just constantly in the face of Nina over and over again, just not allowing her to breathe, and every single fight was getting a disruptor here or there, a Colossus here or there. There were a couple of moments as well where Nina did overextend, did push out a little bit too far onto the map and was caught out. I do think that Nina did recover at a time. There was a moment when she did recover, but the moment when Kelazhur kind of took the game in, or took control of the game and never let it go, was when Nina was pushing towards the north. After she had kind of won a fight at her 4th base, she pushed towards the top right, and then she got surrounded. Colossus went down, Stalkers as well, and after that moment, Nina could not recover. And just like that, GG, well played. Kelazhur takes game number 1. And now we're getting ready for game number 2. Potentially the final game of the series. Nina, she has to fight back here and now to force the ace match. Kelazhur, if he wins this game, that's going to be the end of this series. That is going to be Kelazhur qualifying for the playoffs of ESL Masters Winter Americas. Oh boy. Here we go. I love that we have an auto bot that does respond to some messages. Is this live? Yeah, yes, it is live. It is live. It is live, other than the 2-minute delay, of course. Play for 2 minutes, 2 minutos. here we go. We're getting into game. Número 2. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of our Alkione, we have the American Protoss. The blue Protoss player down in the series, looking to fight back, looking to force the ace match. It is Nina. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have her opponent. We have the Brazilian Terran player, the red Terran. It is, one game away from qualifying for the playoffs. It is Kelazhur. Here we go. Potentially the final game. It could all end here. Personally, I want to see an ace match. I want us to go all the way the distance, as Kelazhur is going to be a little bit cheeky. He sends an SCV the long way around the map, and we are looking for an eBay block. So Kelazhur, he avoided the main attack path. He avoided the main attack path, or the main route to the bases of the opponent. Avoids the probe scout, and we have an eBay on the low ground, completely unscattered, unseen by Nina. And the purpose of this is to force an unnatural natural, to force the Protoss player to be very uncomfortable in the early game. Upon seeing this, there's too much progression, and Nina should be forced to expand elsewhere. And Kelazhur's checking. Kelazhur, he's looking to delay that even further. We have an SCV in position. Nina, she comes in to throw down an expansion here at the triangular third base, but Kelazhur's here and will delay the natural even longer. Oh my god. Kelazhur even winning out on this fight as well. Once again, pivoting back here to this location. Just a bigger delay on the expansion. Finally, it's thrown down. And Kelazhur is in the driver's seat. Behind this, we have a Rax into factory into a delayed natural base. The reason for this, we should be going for an add-on swap. This has become a very common and a very popular build in current TvP. We should see an add-on swap, and we can go for Cyclones first. And the reason why you want Cyclones this early on, because Nina is going to have a really hard time defending this natural and the main at the same time. The Terran player can kind of pick and choose which base to harass, and the Protoss is going to have a hard time just kind of spinning up their forces this early on to defend both locations at once. Here we go. It is not going to be Cyclones. Okay, it's going to be Hellions instead. At the same time, Nina setting up a proxy Stargate. Okay, let's go. Nina getting ready to harass across the map. This should be for a proxy Oracle to get into the mineral line to get economic damage done. Meanwhile, with these Hellions are looking to roast up mineral lines, less so kill units. Or kill fighting units even. Interesting. So Hellions into Widow Mines. Okay, a drop is going to be upon us. So far, Kells are going to be vying for control between these bases, threatening the main, avoiding the army actually going straight for the main base, and there's nothing here. And this is what I was worried about. A lot of damage is being done. 3 probes go down. We're going to get a 4th as well. We force a recall. 6. Oh no! The workers, they line up 7 probes. Ay, ay, ay. Can we get an 8th? We cannot. But 7 workers for 2 Hellions, well worth it. Well worth it for Kelazhur. And again, this is the difficult thing about defending both these bases. This is the difficult thing about being forced to expand elsewhere. So a very strong start for Kelazhur. Meanwhile, Nina looking to deal some counter damage. With this proxy starport, which hasn't been scouted, we're going for an Oracle towards the main. We have Stalkers towards the natural. At the same time, we have a mine drop that's going to be moving out, which means we actually have very little to defend, which means Nina is going to get SCV kills. SCVs are going down. The Stalkers, they head into the mineral line. 0 mining going on right now for Kelazhur. Every mineral line is under threat. Oh my god, that's 5 SCVs, 6 SCV kills. Oh my god, we're going to get a 7th. And we could even get an 8th. Now, this is amazing, but this is also a committed mine drop. As the workers, they get back into the main base, we fully wall off that main. And Nina does spot the drop. Pulls back in time. Shouldn't take too much damage. That's the Oracle. Oh, does come back as well. Mine shot's going to be going off. We do have the Revelation. Oh my god, as we can actually escape with the Widow Mines. We save every single one. We redrop here at the natural base once again. And Nina was forced to turn back around and come back home. Oh my god. Not too soon. Don't come back too soon. Oh my god, the mines are resetting. We're only going to get a couple more workers here as we drop back into the main base. Ooh, getting an Oracle as well. Getting another 2 workers, and now we have to take a moment here to take stock and figure out what exactly has been going on. Okay, after all said and done, Nina did kill 9 SCVs but lost 12 workers of her own. She also shut down all 4 Widow Mines. The medevac is under threat. Lost an Oracle in the process. There was a lot of lost mining time though. The mining time was brutal for both players. Things that are looking relatively even. I think I want to give the edge to Kelazhur. After all said and done, I want to give the edge to Kelazhur. He may be down in workers, but he has mules, and Nina has no tech. That's the big thing right now. No tech for Nina. The Stargate opener wasn't for Phoenixes, which means we don't have map control. Twilight Council's just now on the way. Medevac goes down. But this is a big delay on Blink. Blink is so heavily delayed, but we're getting more CVs. 7. Oh my god. A very chaotic early game here. You don't want to be an SCV and you don't want to be a probe. You don't want to be a worker in this game. It's not good. Oh my god, as workers are going down left and right, regardless of who you are. And Kelazhur, he's that much more committed now. He's down to 32 workers. Third SCV, third CC is thrown down. Kelazhur is pushing. Here we go. Kelazhur going to be moving out across the map. Back at home, Nina trying to get in position. No shield battery, but we do have force fields. We do have sentries. We can hold. Stim is still a couple seconds away from finishing up. Here we go. We are going to be sieging. Boys are being pulled. We're looking for a surround, and we will get on top of the tanks, but so many tank volleys went off. The entire Stalker army went down. GG gets called. Good luck as well. Nina could not hold on, not to this natural base, not to this compromised, exposed base location, and Kelazhur will take the series 2-0, qualifying for ESL Masters Americas. GG. GG, well played. Kelazhur will make it to the playoffs. Nina does tap out in the end. Again, a very rough game there from Nina. It's something that has been very prevalent and very commonplace in the new, I say in the new patch, in current era of StarCraft. These eBay blocks can be brutal, and again, it's a really good way to gain momentum early on as a Terran player, and to really dictate the pace of the game, put the Protoss on the back foot, put the Protoss on the defensive, and we saw just how much damage was done and how much Kelazhur was able to abuse Nina and take advantage of her position in that game. GG, well played, and congratulations to Kelazhur. He will make it to the playoffs. My condolences to Nina. Again, she's an amazing player, don't get me wrong. She's an amazing player, don't get me wrong, and she did perform well here in the regionals of ESL Masters. She did well in the group stage, but just barely didn't make the cut for the playoff bracket. So my condolences, GG, well played. And hopefully we get to see more of Nina in the future, whether it's the ESL Open Cups, whether it's even DreamHack Atlanta. Fun fact, DreamHack Atlanta is an offline event. It will have an open bracket, and some of these players that don't make it to the main event by qualifying and by being invited, they can still make it through the open bracket, and I imagine we're still going to be there to take part in the community and to interact with everyone offline as well. So if you happen to be native to the land of the Americas, definitely check out DreamHack Atlanta. It's going to be an amazing venue, an amazing tournament, and really just a good way to bring everyone together and to bring the community together and to enjoy StarCraft as one, as a whole. GG. ET, well played. With that, that does wrap up our coverage of ESL Masters Winter, and we're going to be going on a short break. When we return, we have ESL Open Cup Americas. ESL Open Cup Americas has been ongoing, and where are we? We're already in the semi-finals. Oh my god, I'm gonna hop over and hopefully I can catch some games. It looks like, what do we have? Beyond versus Solar is currently going on in the lower semi-finals over in the Korean server, and I'm gonna try to catch them. I'm gonna try to catch them. So when it comes to this broadcast, the stream is going to be turning off because I do have to reset a couple of things. I do have to change some scenes and change some overlays. So we will have to... yeah, just reset a couple of things, but when we return, we will have some more games, some more StarCraft. So again, I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all had a great time. Predictions will now be paid out, and yeah, we're gonna be back. We're gonna be live again in a couple of minutes with Beyond versus Solar. See you soon. See you soon.